As a shareholder of Boeing, this is Daryl Guberman. As a shareholder of Boeing, don't get going. You know what we did? In April, I'm sorry that it's twisted, but in April, I was down there supporting Sam Salephour, the whistleblower, for the Boeing 777 and 787. I stood up with two pieces of paper. They were supplier notifications from both April and July 2002. Just a mere 7 months prior to that, 9/11 happened, and Boeing came out on CNN Money and said that they're going to be laying off 20 to 30,000 employees. I stood up and stopped the committee. Well, actually, I didn't. I gave everybody the last chance, and they waited till the guy from MIT there. So I got up and I said, Mr. Chairman, so sit down. I said, no, Mr. Chairman, these two documents show that Boeing gave up on-site auditing at their suppliers for 22 years. And I have the snippet video on my YouTube channel. If you want, I'll gladly send it to you, 203-556-1493. But as of January 2025, Boeing took these two pieces of paper down, these notifications that were up on their supplier portal from 2002 all the way till 2025. So for 23 years, they were there undisturbed until I disturbed them and showed you, ladies and gentlemen, and the Department of Homeland Security, the facts and the truth. In fact, let me read you, okay? And as a person who's flying on these planes, okay, think about this, okay? Don't you want a redundant inspection? Meaning this, I build this stapler. This is what Boeing did. I build this stapler, I look at this stapler, send it out the door. But I didn't do the full test to check if the stapler works. A redundant inspection is this. I build the stapler, I hand it to the inspector. Inspector looks at it, okay? Checks it out. Yes, it works. Sends it to one more guy before it gets shipped out the door, okay? This is only an example. The guy looks at it, looks at the color, looks at this, looks at the little hair over here that flattens out the staple to crimp it, make sure that it goes like this, then hands it off and they box it. What Boeing did is they made the part, it looks good, and go like that. And this is what they said. In April 2002, for their heat treatment welding, their NADCAP certification, we believe the number of redundant audits will significantly reduce as aerospace manufacturers embrace this program. Boeing will audit suppliers when the need arises. So their supplier goes like this, it looks good, here, go out the door. And that's it. And when it comes in-house, well, they have the certification, yes, they're AS9100, AS9100, and they're ANAP accredited. Just put it on the plane. That's basically what happened and what has happened for many years. In July, they came out with a supplier bulletin, and it states that your AS9100 certificate must be ANSI ANAP accredited. Why? I'm going to keep on hammering this into your head, ladies and gentlemen, because Boeing called them out on their supplier bulletin. Must be ANSI ANAP on their AS9100 for aerospace certificate. They called them out on their supplier portal that says third-party registrars must be ANSI ANAP accredited or internationally equivalent. And then to make matters even worse, Boeing sat on the board on the website, the ANSI ANAP website, sat on there that they can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. Okay? What is that going on, ladies and gentlemen? They had the hen watching the hen house, the fox watching the hen house, and you also had the FAA sitting by Boeing. These federal agencies are entwined with corporate America, and they're going to kill us. Absolutely. So you have, and this is what it said in July, our preference is to deal with proven suppliers with excellent quality performance and not have to do on-site quality audits, only if need be, which gives liability directly to Boeing. When they sit on the board of ANSI ANAP that they took off in August of 2024, Okay, they took that web page off that shows, that illustrates to you, and I have a copy, many copies of it, from 3/18/2024 that shows Boeing on there that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. So you have all this liability there and no lawyers picking it up because you know why? The American Bar Association is in bed with ANSI ANAP. And then the DOJ, that's a joke. Pam Bondi, just because they gave Pam Bondi leadership role in it, it still sits on ANSI ANAP's board, not just as a member of the board, but as a paying customer. When the DOJ, several months before Pam Bondi got in, the DOJ said, the Boeing lied to the FAA. Lied. They didn't tell them about this MCAS system that killed 346 people on the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air 2018-19. They lied, right? But the DOJ sits as a member on ANSI ANAP, and they're also a customer. That's abominable. That's terrible. The DOT, the Department of Transportation, sits as a member on ANSI ANAP, and they're going to be doing an inquisition of Boeing coming up soon. I don't know, sometime in April, with Ted Cruz leading the forces. What is that? When I stood up, I already knew what I was standing in. I was no more telling Blumenthal, who is a chairman, that he is, and he doesn't know. He's probably oblivious. These people are oblivious to it. They do these meetings thinking that we, the taxpayer, are watching a success at work. It's not success, it's failure. My feeling is, after this meeting, I went back in July to go see David Calhoun, the CEO of Boeing that had to step down in December. The only thing, I think he's still on the board. Can you imagine that? Anyway, the only thing he knew about aerospace was his Titleist 3 golf ball, or his Galloway golf ball, getting hit off the tee. The only thing he knew about aircraft materials was his golf club. The head, the shaft, titanium, aluminum, and or graphite. That's all he knew. And they kept him there. They would have still kept him there if the Alaska door didn't pop like a champagne bottle. And he didn't even know the word escape. My people say, escape. That means it. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, I say this truly to you, that we're in bad shape. Just because the musicians' leadership has changed on these federal agencies, Pam Bondi with the DOJ, you have Kash Patel with the FBI. I could tell you stories. I already told you stories about when Christopher Wray was there. Unbelievable. You also have Pete Hegseth at the DOD. You also have at the Department of Homeland Security. You have Bondi. You have Kash Patel. You have Peter Hegseth. You also have a lot of anybody who has changed roles there. I'm not going to name all these people, just is mind-boggling. They all sit still on the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board. I do this thing to save your ass so that when you're going on vacation this summer, you can go on an Airbus. Can I give you 100% assurances? Well, you also then have to be into this as well, that you have a lot of issues with the they don't have enough A&P mechanics to really look over an aircraft. Don't let anybody kid you. Okay, they have more airplanes than they do A&P mechanics. They will disagree with me, but why do you think a tire falls off so many planes this summer? Their bosses would probably say, we got to get this plane out. We got to go. And you know how pressure and stress gets you. They forgot to torque down the... I have not read the report, but you had too many tires fall off the planes too many times, yet they still blame Boeing for that. No, it's also, there's a lot of things that are integrated into the failure of an aircraft. Yeah, the aircraft door popping off was a Boeing issue. Yeah, the MCAS system was a Boeing fault. Yeah, sure, but it is absolutely disgusting. My number is 203-556-1493. I do this to protect you. I don't know you, but I want to protect you because that's what we human beings have to do for each other. 203-556-1493. I thank you.